Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the first World Happiness Report. Okay. So here in 2012, so our first World Happiness Report was released. Okay. So in that time, so this was very first look towards the world. So that's why the some important ideas were evolved from this first World Happiness Report. Okay. So it will be better to know about some ideas regarding the World Happiness Report. Okay. So here some people are thinking, oh, this is very lengthy topic as compared with the previous topics. So here I'm giving very shortcut and very short notes for this topic. So first one is this is an age of stark contradictions. Okay. So here stark means absolute. Okay. And contradictions means it is the position which is always to the opposite. Okay. So here I can say there was the age of opposite method. Okay. So here they given one example, that is one side world enjoys the technologies of unimaginable sophistication. Okay. So here the people are enjoying the technology. Okay. So even we cannot imagine how it is working. Okay. So it means the people always enjoying the technology in the society. Okay. So next, on other side, at least 1 billion people are living without enough to eat. Okay. So how bad conditions are there? So during 2012, so this was the important point which came into force from and through the World Happiness Report. Okay. So it means one side the people are enjoying the technology. Okay. Even we cannot imagine how the sophistication is they are using. Okay. Next, on the same way, there was another side, that is even the people 1 billion, almost 1 billion people, they are not eating enough. Okay. So it means this is the absolute position which is very opposite, quite opposite. Okay. So here the people are enjoying, and some people even they are not able to eat enough food. Okay. So next one is the world economy is propelled to new heights of the productivity through the technological and organizational advances. Okay. So it means the world economy is pushing to the great heights of the productivity. It means the world economy is producing the important products through the technology. It means that world economy is using the technology and organizational advances. It means it is using the advantages and advances of the society, and it is producing the products. Okay. It means the enough products are producing by the world economy. But there is one negative thing, that is it is relentlessly destroying the natural environment in the purpose of production. Okay. So here there is one positive thing and one negative thing. So in the same way, world economy is the high position of the productivity. It means it is producing the goods and services by using the technology and organization advances, but it is destroying the natural environment in the process of production. Yes, we are using technology, it is better to lead the country, but in the same way, in the process of the using technology, in the process of the production, so we are destroying the natural environment. Okay. So here natural environment is very important for the human life, but we are destroying the human natural environment by the production. Okay. So next negative background is countries achieve great progress in the economic development. Okay. Because it is producing products, goods and services. Yes, it is developing country, it is developed country. Even though the countries, there was a new crisis of, there's some important problems in the society, that is obesity, smoking, diabetes and depression and other ills of the modern life. Okay. So why they are increasing? Because countries are achieving progress, but there are some evils in the society. So those are the obesity, smoking. Because whenever the money or wealth is increasing, so automatically the human behavior will change. So that's why here the obesity, smoking, diabetes and depression, so these are the causes of the developing or progress of a particular country. Okay. It means both, this is a absolute the opposite position. So stark contradictions. It means one side, so there is a development, and one side there is a negative impact. Okay. I think you can understand. So these contradictions, it means the position which towards the opposite method, so even they not come as a shock to the greatest sages, so who always is saying about the humanity and time, especially Aristotle and Buddha, so they teach humanity and the time, but even this contradiction is not to come as a shock to the greatest sages, because so, material, one thing that is material gain alone will not fulfill our deepest needs. Okay, so it is very foolish thing that the people are thinking like material gain is very important for the leading of human life, but it is very foolish thing. So, material gain is never fulfill the deepest needs of the humans. Okay, next, material life must be harnessed to meet these human needs, most importantly to promote the end of suffering like social justice, attaining of happiness. Okay, so here material life must be harnessed, it means we can create as it is possible to the human needs. Okay, but we can create this material life for the promotion of the end of the suffering, because some people they are living in the poor conditions, even they are living in the slum areas, so even they are not reaching the social justice, so it means some people they are not attaining the happiness. Okay, so here I can say that material life must be created to meet the human needs, especially to end of the suffering, social justice and attainment of happiness. Okay, so this is the first point which was lifted from the World Happiness Report. So, coming to the second point, that is World Happiness Report 2012. So, it took key examples from the United States. Okay, so that is United States is the world's economic superpower, right? So, which has achieved striking economic and technological progress over the past half century. It means 50 years it was very important, and it was achieved the striking economic on the basis of the economy and on the basis of the technology, so it got the progress, okay, over the 50 years. So but there is one negative background, that is without gains in the self reported happiness of the citizens. So this is very bad conditions in the US. Okay, so being a superpower and a super world economy power, but so even though they are not enjoying the happiness, especially from the citizens. Okay, so because uncertainties, anxieties are very high. Okay, next is social and economic inequalities. Okay, so social and economic inequalities means there was no equality between the citizens on the basis of the social norms, on the basis of the income or economy. Okay, so in US there was a social trust is in decline. Okay, it means there is no social trust. Social trust means the persons who cannot put the trust on the other persons in the same society. Okay, so here the people never trust any person in the same society, in the same living area. Next, confidence in government is very low at all the time. Okay, even the people cannot put the confidence on the government also. It means the people always against the government, even the people cannot believe the government itself also. Okay, so because of these four reasons only, here it means United States has a very low life satisfaction. Okay, so it means it is very constant during the GNP per capita rising also. Okay, even GNP, gross national product per capita, was raised during these decades, even though here the life satisfaction was very low in the US. Okay, okay, so coming to the third point from the First World Happiness Report. So here the realities of poverty, anxiety and environmental degradation and unhappiness. Okay, so these are the negatives in society. So especially this should not be regarded as mere curiosities. Okay, so it means there is no curiosity to know about these things, but so we have to know about we have to require urgent attention towards something. So that is especially at this time in human history we have entered a new phase, so that is Anthropocene. Okay, so this is the new phase we entered. Okay, especially in the world, so this was the term that is Anthropocene. So the name was given by the earth world's earth system scientist. Okay, so he given the name that is Anthropocene. So especially Anthropocene means the current geological age. So here the human activities are dominant in the environment. Okay. So here these are these will reshape the society. Okay. So here we are if we continually mindlessly along the current economic trajectory, so in that time there is a risk, especially on the earth's life support system. Earth life support system means especially the natural things like food supplies, clean water, stable climate. So these are very necessary for human life, so human health. Okay, so especially these are very important for the survival of the humans also. Okay, so even mindlessly we are continue along with the economic point of view, so we have to face some risk in the society, like it's a life support system, food supplies. So for food supplies means from the vegetation, from forest areas, and clean water, rivers. Okay, stable climate means the temperature, rainfall. Okay, so these things also will disturb because of the human behavior. Okay, for example the given, so we already experiencing the deterioration conditions. It means the very worst conditions in the world. So for example some areas like dry areas, example in Africa and Central Asian countries. So here we are experiencing the worst conditions, so on the basis of the natural environment. So if we act wisely, it means being a rational man, so we can protect our earth while raising the quality of life around the world. Okay, it means we can protect the world. We can do this by adopting the lifestyles technologies. Okay, so even we can do this important thing, it means we can protect our natural environment. So by adopting the important things like lifestyles, we can change our lifestyles for protecting the environment, and we can use the balanced technology. So whenever we behave like a wise man, so that it can improve the happiness, it means life satisfaction, and we can reduce the human damage to the environment also. Okay, so in this point they explain the sustainable development. Here sustainable development means human well-being and social inclusion. It means all are equal, and there is a social inclusion and environment sustainability. Okay, so it means only we are using means we cannot damage our environment. Okay, so here sustainable development is very important for the human life. Okay, here the sustainable development is a combination of these three things. Next, if there is a quest for the happiness, it means searching. Quest means search. So if anyone is searching for happiness, so it is intimately it is linked to the quest for the sustainable development. Okay, so whenever a person wants to get the happiness, so we should follow the sustainable development. Here the sustainable development is a combination of three things. So next, coming to the fourth point from the First World Happiness Report. So that is in an impoverished society, it means poor country or poor society. So here material gain is very important. Okay, because of the poor conditions they need money, and a higher household income generally signifies an improvement in the life conditions of the poor. Okay, so here the poor suffers because of lack of adequate food, remunerated jobs, health care, safe homes, safe water and sanitation, educational opportunities. Okay, they are suffering because of these things. Okay, so here in whenever the income rise from a low level, so the human well-being improves. Okay, so here whenever a person is receiving very low level of the income, so whenever we have to increase the income to the lower level of the people, so maybe the human well-being may be increased or improved. Okay, okay, so it means low people, it means low income people and higher income people. Okay, so coming to the opposite side of the income spectrum, that is higher income people. So here there is enough food, enough shelter, clean water, sanitation, clothes. So these things are very available and very enough to get. Okay, so it means whenever you're higher income people, so they'll get enough food and shelter, etc. So the lifestyle of rich will be risk for the poorest regions, as because only the advantages are given to the rich people only, so in that time the poor will suffer. So in the rich world the affluent populations are so separated from the poor that there is a little recognition. So poor will get the little recognition, little practical or moral, so especially from their own behavior. So there is a lot of differences between the poor and rich. So coming to the fifth point from the first world happiness report, so that is affluence, it means wealth. So wealth has also created its own set of afflictions, it means harms and addictions to the obesity, adult onset to diabetes, tobacco related illness, and eating disorder. Next is psychosocial disorder, addictions to the shopping, TV, and gambling. So these are the negative aspects in the society. Whenever there is a high wealth, so the people will addict to these things. So these are the disorders of the development. Okay, so two, it means heavy wealth is the loss of the community. Okay, so decline of a social trust also sometimes, and rising anxiety levels also in globalized world. Okay, so coming to the sixth point from the World Happiness Report, so that is higher average income. So don't necessarily improve the average well-being. Okay, so if a person is receiving a high income, it means is he experiencing the happiness in their life? So it is never. Okay, because it cannot change the happiness of the human. For example, they given one example in the United States. So here the example was given by the Professor Richard Easterlin. So where GNP per capita has risen by a factor of 3, so since 1960s. Okay, so while they measured the average happiness, but it was unchanged. Okay, even GNP was increased since 1960s, but the average happiness was not increased, because it is never a conclusion for the income. Okay, so there is no compatibility, or there is a difference between the average income and happiness. Okay, there is a lot of difference between the happiness and income. So here GNP is increasing in the United States. It means the productivity was increased, but so there was no happiness. So but US output was, it caused massive environment changes because of the productivity in the US. They gained the progress. They got the importance in the world, and they became the world superpower on the basis of the economy. But there was some massive environmental changes. Okay. So next one is paradox. It means this was one statement or one contradiction which was given by the Easterlin. So here in US, so richer individuals are happier than poorer ones. Okay, but over time the society didn't become happier as it became richer. Okay, so this is very important example which came from the US. So here the richer people or richer individuals are happier than poorer ones. So whenever the GNP was increased, but over the time the society didn't become happier as it became richer. Okay, so even the people are rich, but they are not receiving the happiness. Okay, so this is due to four reasons. And coming to the reason, so first one is individual compare themselves to others, and they are happier when they are higher on the social ladder. So here social ladder means income. Okay, so at when everybody rises together, relative status unchanged. Okay, so it means everybody rises together on the basis of the income, but the relative status, it means the happiness of relation, happiness was unchanged. Okay, because individuals compare themselves to others. So next one is the gains have not been evenly shared. Okay, it means disproportionately they're sharing. Okay, so on the basis of the income also, there is not evenly shared, and education distribution also, so there was disproportionate. So next one, the other social factors like insecurity. So feeling insecure, loss of a social trust, it means the people never trust anyone in the society, and declining confidence in the government. So this is most important thing in US, and felt from the higher incomes. Okay, so these are the things why they are not receiving happiness. And coming to the fourth point, that is individuals may experience an initial jump in the happiness when their income rises, but at least partly return to earlier levels as they adapt to their new higher income. Okay, so it means the individuals may experience initial jump in happiness, so when their income rises, here the happiness level also is increasing or changing. Okay, but sometimes, so again they are going to the earlier position, so whenever they adopt the new higher income. Okay, and coming to the seventh one, that is economic growth leads rich countries can become happier. Okay, so in the same way, higher income may raise happiness to some extent only. So after over the period, so higher income may actually reduce one's happiness also. So this is the opposite towards the happiness. So here one thing is very important, that is it may nice to have more money but not nice to crave. It means we can it means it is very nice to have money, so it means we are wealthy persons, but it is very, so to have money is very nice, but we should not get the hope or desire again to get the money. Okay, so here, some psychologists are saying, sir, that the people who put a high premium on higher income, so they are less happy because they want to get more money. So that's why they're putting a premium, high premium on the higher income activities. Okay, so here low income means there is no problem for the low income people. Okay. Next, coming to the eighth point, so here another problem is the creation of new material wants through advertising of products. Okay, so here creation of new material. Whenever we are going to buy some new products, so first of all we have to know about something about that particular product. So that's why here they are using the advertisements. So here advertising is now is a business. Okay, so advertisers and marketers, they do this on psychological weakness. It means they are playing with the psychological no, psychological activities and psychological weakness. Okay, so there is a one important law, that is law of diminishing marginal utility of income. So here marginal means additional or extra. So okay, so in that time the thinking of the becoming happier by the becoming richer is very challenged by this law. So after a certain point, so it means after a certain point the gains are very small because they always want to get the additional amount of the income. Okay, this means that poor people benefit far more than rich people from an added dollar of income. Okay, so next important one, that is 10th point, the economists assume the individuals are rational decision makers. Okay, rational means the people who knows what is wrong and what is right. Okay, so who know, so what they want, how to get that and how to close to that, and how to get that product. Okay, so these things, and how to give in the budget to that particular product. So this means the economist is saying individuals are behaving like a rational decision makers. Okay, so here individuals care themselves largely and derive their pleasure through the consumption. Okay, so next, coming to the 11th point, that is we understand that we need a very different model of humanity. Like we experienced complicated interplay of emotions and rational thought and unconscious and conscious decision makers, fast and slow thinking. So these are the very important things which are a very different model of humanity. Within humanity there are different types of the models. Okay, so for example, so many of our decisions are led by the emotions and the instinctions. Okay, so we are inconsistent or irrational in sequential choices, and we are very failing to meet basic standard consistency. Okay, so sometimes you are failing to meet the basic standards of the rational consistency. Okay, and one more thing, we are largely unaware of our own mental apparatus. Okay, it means sometimes we easily fall into the traps and mistakes also. If we are behaving like conscious and unconscious decision making, rational or irrational emotions, fast and slow thinking, so in that time we can easily fall into the traps and mistakes. So here the human beings feel the pain of others also and react what they are react. Okay, so it means if they are sad, if they are injured, so even we also feel like that because we are the social animals. Okay, so here we have a set of mirror neurons. So there are some limits to such cooperation and fellow feelings. It means some people they are overreacting towards the society. If they are feeling something bad, so the people also will feel like that because there is a mirror neurons what they are doing, so we also feel like that. So this is known as mirror neurons. Okay, so it means sometimes it is very danger. So there are some limits for such cooperation and fellow feelings. Okay.